Welcome back to the T's and C's of Life podcast with Tanya and Claire.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello. We're back. We've been back, haven't we?
Yeah, I know. But do you know what? I've been listening to other podcasts and I like the way that other people introduce their podcasts. Like they kind of do, it's Claire McGilvery and Tanya Rollinson from the T's and C's. Yeah, they give a whole
really?
kind of tagline of what their podcast is about. And
Okay.
yeah, we've never really done that.
No.
But I quite like the way that we introduce our podcast, so
yeah.
our listeners know what they're listening to.
Yeah, because remember we did have a whole conversation about recording bits beforehand, like an intro.
I don't mean it being like
not...
a set recording. I just mean it being like having like a little tagline. Like, because the one podcast that I really, really love listening to is Just the Gist, and it's an Australian one. Oh, you're not keen on it. I really love it.
Yeah. And
I love the way that Rosie kind of introduces it, and she's like, "Take it away, my dulcet tone of Adonis." And I was like, oh, I love it when she says that. And then the music starts, and Jacob starts talking, and it's just really cool. So I'm not going to start telling you my dulcet tone of Adonis.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That's just weird.
It's not. It's really cool. I love it.
No, I listened to one of those and it just didn't do it for me. But I've realised that there are only certain podcasts I can listen. There's not many. I've gone through. I tried even last week where I've been walking more and thinking I'll listen to podcasts. I listened to us. Which is really sad, isn't it? Like, this is the best podcast out there. And then I did. I got about half an hour in and I was like, no, this is ridiculous. Let me listen to other people. But couldn't find one. I like Nova Reid. I do love Nova Reid, but that's more of an educational thing. That is a learning experience. But yeah, it's considering how many podcasts are out there.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But in terms of like media content, or digital media content, then podcast is actually still up and coming. So we're getting in there early.
Yes,
we're one of the cool ones.
We are. We are very cool. Apparently.
Right. So in some top news, my book is 1 year old.
Oh.
It was actually 1 year old last week, and I kind of forgot.
How did you? Does it not come up on your phone?
Well, no, it didn't. It didn't come up as a reminder. I don't know. Maybe I haven't got reminders set on my phone or something.
Or even like on Facebook, like time hop thingy.
No, it didn't come up.
Memories.
I just had it in my head that I knew towards the end of September I went to Wales with Bonnie last year. We went and stayed in our yurt.
Oh, was that? Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
And I'd published my book, or it was official, like, on the morning before I went to Wales. Yeah. And I was up at hers last week, 2 weekends ago.
Yep.
And it was actually whilst I was at Bonnie's that it had its birthday, and I just totally forgot. And then I thought it was the 17th, and my sister texted and said it was like her wedding anniversary. I was like, yeah, no, I must have the date wrong because it's not on Sarah's wedding anniversary. Oh, fucking hell, I've totally missed it.
It's all right. You can have a belated birthday. I have two birthdays like the Queen.
It's a birthday month, yeah.
Yes, birthday month.
So it's really weird having had, like, because I never anticipated this aspect of being like a writer, having I've now got 2 books that are published.
Yeah.
Like, it was all about getting the first one out, getting it, like, what was it going to be like? What's, you know, because when you set yourself goals and then you achieve them, you do expect this massive fanfare to come out of the walls and just like, oh my God, well done, celebrate, like, this is amazing. And then nothing, it's just you. Like, I was asleep when my book was published. I woke up.
I remember.
Because you were the first, you texted me, you were the first one to buy it.
Bought it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's just so strange that, you know, this big thing that you've been working towards, like, you'll experience it as well with Part, when you had your nomination for, or the shortlisted for the award, like, you do kind of think this massive thing has happened, but life
carries on.
Yeah, life just carries on.
So I find that really weird sometimes, that I have to sort of, you know, when you have to have a word with yourself and goes, all right, the world does care, but the world's going on, because it does, because you're so excited and you are euphoric, and then everyone else is like, yay, and then it's gone, and you're like, oh.
I know.
Okay, it's
given me a little insight or a little bit of an understanding as to why some celebrities can be so kind of attention hungry, because it's that reaffirmation of you are amazing, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're beautiful all the time.
That's a very good point, actually. It is that need for attention needing. That that is a really good point, and it is, because it does that. I know, even doing the work that we do to a certain extent, that because we've constantly got young people, or I did, because that was bloody brilliant. Constantly having young people just saying how much that we're helping, and you do get that positive reinforcement that actually it does feed something in you, which is why we should do that more often, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, to people.
Yeah, we should give people compliments and tell them how amazing they are, just for no other reason than it's just a really nice thing to do, and it's nice to get it back.
I saw it was a video, I can't remember whose page it was on. It was on someone's page the other day, and it's just this dude driving around, and he just stops people and does really cheesy compliment lines, like, I can't even think of one, but like, are you a doctor because you're gold, or something like that, like stupid things. And they're like, what, me? Or, I love, you're beautiful. And they're like, me, you're talking to me. And their faces are so happy, because it's just like,
thing, isn't it?
They're just, you can see they're just walking along normally, and then someone tells them they're beautiful or they're amazing, and you're like, oh, that's so cute. No one does that to me.
I said it to you when you came in this morning. I was like, wow, I love your hair like that.
It's a mess, but...
It's not a mess, though.
It is a mess.
Take the compliment. It looks amazing. She's got her hair really curly.
Yeah, well, some bits are curly, some won't curl anymore.
Some bits are damaged.
Just fucked. That's the whole point of cutting it off,
but
is to undamage my hair.
It looks really, really cool.
It's getting used to curly hair again.
Embracing your natural look.
Yeah, I'm still not there. Yeah. I'll get there. I will, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But love yourself in all different veins. Absolutely. Considering how much I change my hair, you think I should be happy with something, but
I know.
But
you drastically change it, though. You change it so far from what your natural style is.
Yeah.
It's like a mask.
Yeah. It is.
Let's go down that dark road.
Let's not today. Let's not today.
Well, today we are talking about randomization. Now, I stumbled upon this it's not a podcast, it was a TED Talk by Max Hawkins, and it was about, so he's an algorithm designer, so he's a coder, basically. He designs apps. So he decided that he wanted to start to change different aspects of his life and try and randomize things, like try and mix things up and do different stuff, rather than just living life as he always has done and seeing the same friends, doing the same things, going to the same restaurants, going to the same shops and doing all that sort of things on, it's like pre-programmed into your mind, and you just behave those patterns on repeat. So he randomized his life for 2 years. Okay. And this TED Talk is really interesting. It's quite a short one. I think it's like 15 minutes or something.
Okay.
But it's really interesting, and it just got me, it really struck a chord with me. I was like, yes, because sometimes I get really stagnant in my life, and not because I've fallen out of love with people or I want to break up our friendships or anything. I just want to shake it up a bit. I want to meet new people. Sometimes I want to do new things lots of times. I want to eat different food. I want to experience different stuff, and I think lockdown has really made that evident for me, because I haven't been able to been able to go out, I haven't been able to travel, I haven't been able to go to different restaurants and have different things. I've been really restricted, and I don't like being confined. I don't like being told what to do. So I like to try and shake out of it in any way I can. Yeah. So this randomization TED Talk was really like, it was like he was speaking to me, and it was like, Claire, this is what you need. And I was like,
this is what you need to do.
Yes, Max, I will do this. Yes, that is an amazing thing to do. And I think after I watched it, I texted our group chat and I was like, right, girls, I'm really sick of just drinking together, because that's all we ever do. I'm getting a delivery collected. Yeah. Just looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, I could see a light.
And I felt, because all we do, our friendship is based around, not our friendship, but the group's friendship as a whole. Yeah. We just drink together, which is lovely. We have an amazing time, and I enjoy and I love everybody, but that is all we do. We don't actually do other stuff. So I think after I'd watched that TED Talk, I was like, right, come on, let's do something different. And I mean, it's really difficult trying to coordinate. Well, there's 6 of us. I mean, Cass doesn't even live here anymore. She lives up north. But coordinating 5 people to have a free day, a free child free day, time, availability, transport to get to do whatever it is. It is difficult, and I do appreciate that. But it really made me think, because it was obviously something that was lacking in me, because I was feeling a bit, I was just feeling like I was dragging my heels and everything that I did. I just never felt like I was getting anywhere and doing anything or living my best life. I wanted to start doing some different stuff, and this TED Talk came on. I was like,
so what have you done that's different?
Well, when the most recent thing that I did that was different was when I was up in Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago. Bonnie and I decided that we were going to go out for dinner and we were going to do a random generator for a country using like a website.
Right.
And we would then choose a restaurant based on the flag that came up.
Okay.
And it came up with Lebanese.
That works well for you.
Yes, I know, and that was so weird. It was so weird because I've been wanting to go to this Lebanese restaurant in Ashford for ages.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, Bonnie, this is so cool. This is this is the food that I've been yeah, totally. The universe is.
And did you find a nice restaurant?
Yeah, we did. And it was around the corner from Bonnie's flat.
Oh, wow.
Just really cool. And it was bring your own bottle. It was fab. It was really, we had the most amazing evening. The food was amazing. I don't like baba ganoush.
What is baba ganoush?
Oh, it's a dip that's made out of aubergine.
Oh, okay.
And it sounds like I like the word baba ganoush. I like saying it. It's like a fun word to say.
I like aubergines.
Well, aubergines are a bit nothing, and I just
I
feel
suppose they are a bit nothing.
Yeah, I just feel like it should have been warm, but it was
cold.
It's cold.
Oh no, I don't know. No,
I didn't love it. No, totally didn't love it, but I loved everything else that we had. Halloumi, we had. It was all vegetarian as well because Bonnie's vegetarian, and I like to eat vegetarian. So it was just fun. Like it was just we just randomly picked
and
things.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, we just kind of went down the menu. Is that the menu? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, menu. Well, we've had so many different conversations and so many different things this morning. My mind is just like words. Yeah. So we went down the menu, like yep there, and we chose for each other, and then we shared. So it was just it was such a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it takes an element of braveness to do it because especially like we had this conversation about going out for dinner and going somewhere different and be like, well, why would I pay money for something like that I could make for myself, which is arguable. Yes, absolutely. Because it needs to be an experience, doesn't it? It's got to be something that's like going to really full of pizzazz or it's going to really wow you or just kind of set your taste buds alight.
I think because we don't, if you don't go out all the time, that when you do go out you want it to be...
Yeah, it needs to be really special.
Yeah.
And you kind of need to schedule that precision, don't you?
Yes.
But what randomisation does is it takes that control factor out of it and it's just like, fuck it. It's the person, the enjoyment. We're saying about it's not, you're not the essence of somebody else's happiness.
Yes.
What was it? What was the words that you said earlier?
I can't remember now.
Oh, it's along those lines anyway. That you're not the reason for someone else's happiness or whatever. But it's the person you go out with. You enjoy their company.
Yeah.
And what you do is a byproduct.
Yeah.
And that will then just. Why are you laughing?
I was just going to say something. No, I wasn't. I was going to say something, and then I'm not saying it. Yeah, no, it is random nights are really good, and it's nice to do different things.
Yeah, and I think if you allocate someone to make the decision and just say, look, I am open to any and all, here's the budget, let's stick within it. Then just, if it's just for a few hours, it's not like, if it was a full day, then and if it was, when you mix other people into it, I'm not too keen on that. If it means like go out and rubbing shoulders with other people or going to a concert.
See, I don't know, it depends. Like I like doing stuff and I like having things in my diary. It does. If I don't have things in my diary, I can feel myself getting really antsy. I need to know at least every month there's a couple of bits in my diary, whether that's with my mates or with my family. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I just need to be doing something that's outside of my norm and when there's not, it throws me. But it could be anything. But it is trying to get everyone on the page. And I am, I suppose, at a point where I'm not that bothered if everyone can't do it, fuck it, really, because it's like I've got different groups of friends and with every single group of those friends we'll have a point where it's like, can you do this date? Can you do that date? No. Can you do that date? Can you do that date? No. For fuck's sake. And it can go for months then, whereas you might get 4 out of the 6 that can do something, but then you're going, but the other 2 can't. You're like, well, really? You can't. It's lovely
you can't
to all be together, but you can't. And it's just not possible. We are all very, we're old, we're busy, we've got kids, like you said, money. There's so many different issues. And I think you just got to I think if anything over the last few years, like you said, with COVID, with losing Sam's dad, with my mum, you've got to take life by the balls. You just got to do it sometimes because life is short. And I'd much rather go out going, do you know what? I've done a shitload of stuff. I'm poor because I'm always out my house. But I'm happy. Fuck it.
So what was the last random thing that you would have done then? You don't know?
Keep thinking about it.
Oh, I think Tanya's not to talk about sex things.
No, I'm not. Oh my God. No, I'm not.
I know.
Definitely not talking about sex. The last random thing I don't know. Probably not for a while. Anything that I'm allowed to talk about. So it's quite difficult. I don't know. I want more. I think I am a planner though as well.
Okay.
So it's, as much as I do love spontaneity, I will plan it.
I'll tell you when it was. So I was going to Coxheath on Friday night, and I was going to buy plants or pots or something. It says, do you want to come with me? And you're like, oh no, I've just put dinner in the oven. And then a minute later you're like, no, fuck it, they can feed themselves. I'll come with you. So that was a random thing.
That was a random thing. And that was nice. Just, do you know what it is as well? Getting out now, working from home, that you get into a bit of a lull because you're just at home. I'm at home pretty much all day, every day. So then when it comes to leaving the house, it's a whole different thought process. You're like, oh, can I be bothered? Or I've got to do this, and it's...
and then haven't put a brow on yet to do.
No, well, seriously. No. So then, even then, it was like, I've been sat in meetings all day. No, let me go out. It's only fucking up the road. It's just a drive, but it gets me out the house for an hour.
Yeah.
And then back. And then, no one fed themselves, so they just waited for me. That's my household. It's ridiculous. Tell you what, we booked a holiday for next year, me and Sam, with another couple friend, which was quite a random thing, because it was just...
It came out of nowhere.
It did really come out of nowhere.
You were like, I'm going on holiday. Yeah. I was like, well, we weren't yesterday.
We just had the conversations, and we'd always said, oh, we should go away. And then, when you never do it, and then me and Donna were like, let's just fucking do it. And we didn't. And that was something as well, because I think we both felt a bit bad because we're a group. But we didn't even think about the others. It was just, let's just do it, because we know me and Donna get on very well. Sam and Andy get on very well. If we did factor in everyone, which we could very easily do, it's then... We've got 2 people's dates to work to, which worked. We were just like,
well, that's probably why you've never done it before, because you have talked about it and talked about it and talked about it, and just nothing ever.
No, and
happens.
It's not. Whereas now it's and I'm really looking forward to that. So it'll be lovely. Which is good, and it's a holiday, which that makes me happy. No, but no, I suppose I'm not that random. Quite boring now.
It's not boring. It's just I think unless it's. I mean, I was feeling a hell of a little contrast in my life. I was feeling like there was certain aspects of a lot of aspects of my life that just were not making my heart sing. And watching this TED Talk that morning, I was like, yes, that is something totally unpredictable. And I can just, like, I don't know, choose a place on the map or the atlas, or I want to go there, or I want to go here. I want to do this. So Bonnie and I have decided, because she was very much like, when I was telling her about it, she loved the whole concept of it. So we've decided that we're going to try and randomise each other's lives a little bit and give each other suggestions on either a TV show to watch, like a document, not necessarily a box set, but like a documentary. Like, I've watched this, just watch it. Like, you don't need to be interested in the subject, but just watch it. You'll learn something. Or sharing an article about some fucking weird plant that grows on the Himalaya mountains and only one corner because the sun shines in it for 6 hours. Just watch it. Like, you learn something new. And that's what I want to try and inject my life with a little bit. It's just something a little bit different. So I sent her a random recipe last week for a... can't remember what it was now. And I didn't make the time at the weekend to make it. But that's just reminded me I need to do it. So,
but I think that's the thing. I think we are creatures of habit. And so sometimes we want to do it, but then it is finding the time to do it. Whereas, and it is, like you always say, it's not about finding the time. It's about just making the time, because the time is there. But sometimes you get carried away, like with you, with making stuff that you just then go off on a tangent for hours and hours, and then the time's gone. But
unless you stop yourself in your tracks and say, oh, I need to do something differently, then you do just go around until until you start feeling a bit down, or you start feeling a bit lethargic, or like, and sometimes you don't realise what it is. And I didn't realise what it was until I watched that TED Talk, and that's what I thought, that feels exciting. That doesn't feel like hard work. That feels really easy. And there's so many.
Thought of something random that I'm doing, which is random, and it isn't. It is random. It isn't, because, like you said, I go out and I drink a lot when I go out. But we're going out and drinking, but we're playing mini golf while we're drinking. So it's a bar in London where you can play golf, and then we're going to go and play darts in this other bar.
That is very
Isn't that cool? And so it's drinking, but actually doing something which I'm playing sport. I'm an athlete. I am an official athlete. So we're doing that next month, and that's with so another, like, my cousin and Kate, and that'll be really fun because we went to the bar, or one of the bars, a couple of months ago, but we just got pissed. We didn't do any of the stuff that was there. And we were like, why would we not do those? Because that's fun, rather than just and do it before we've got really pissed. Or equally while we're getting pissed, but a bit of all.
Yeah, but it's just different, isn't it? It's something different.
And it is, and I think that, because London is one of my favourite places ever. Like, central London, I love it. And considering we can get a train there, we don't do it often enough. It's just, it baffles me, because there's so much to do there, and you could just get a train and just. We was meant to do that next weekend. I was meant to go to London with some of my friends and do some walking, because I'm still doing this walk. And I realised that we'd booked it, and then the trains are fucked. So I don't know that I can do it. But we were going to go and just go for a bar crawl around London. But I don't know, it takes about 3 hours to get to London on that Sunday. I'm not that bothered. I could walk in 3 hours. So I'm not sure that'll happen. But that would have been fun too. A lot of my stuff revolves around drinking.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
That's quite. Oh.
Do you know what, one of the things I like to do when I go out is I like to ask the bartender to serve me a random drink. That is something I've always done. No. I never drink the same thing all night long.
Really?
No.
Oh, no.
No, I'll always try and mix it up, just because I get bored drinking the same stuff. And actually, to feed into that kind of drinking activity style, when I was in Edinburgh, we were on our way to the restaurant, actually. We'd been out drinking cocktails all afternoon. And again, we got the cocktail server to recommend us cocktails. We weren't choosing them. He chose them for us. And we chose each other's as well, so that we weren't being biased with the things that we liked. We went to this tiny, what I love about Edinburgh, and I don't know if London has this so much, but it's because I didn't grow up in London, Edinburgh, but Edinburgh was the closest biggest city that I ever spent time in as a teenager, and I loved the whole basement concept. I loved walking along the street and having basement bars and restaurants, and this Lebanese, or I think it was Persian actually, the restaurant we went to was the basement one. Okay. So it's just the railing, and then it's the stairs, and it's the mystery, like, whoa, what's in there? What's in there? Anyway, this place was called the Nightcap. Is that? Yeah, the Nightcap. That's what it's called. And it was really, really dark. You couldn't see in it, and it's like, oh, is this the kind of place that we want to go into? I feel a little bit scared. Like, what if I get in there and like I don't know, there's some weird S&M dungeon or something called the Nightcap.
That could be random.
My best friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'd gone, and it was just this tiny little, it was like a whiskey bar really. And they had a really cool curated cocktail list on it. And nothing was, like, it was vodka, but it wasn't just ordinary vodka. It was like vodka flavoured with. And like all these different, like, it just looked really cool. Right. And so we both had a Bloody Mary, which neither of us had before. I don't like the idea. I love tomatoes.
Tomato juice.
Oh man, it was fucking amazing.
Really?
Oh, it was unbelievably good.
Nice.
It was so tasty. And it was served, the garnish was like, it was a hickory smoked tequila soaked sun-dried tomato was served. Oh man.
I love sun-dried tomatoes.
It was so tasty. It was really, it was so delicious. And it was a nice random place to go into, a random drink to have. And it was an experience. If I'd gone to a regular bar and had a gin and tonic. Like, I mean, I love gin and tonic, but it's not a story, is it? It's not an experience. It's not.
And they're the things you're going to remember, aren't they? That they are the stories that you tell, I suppose. It's not like, I just went down the spoons.
Although spoons is a good place to be random in, because they've got such a huge array of drinks.
Yeah, I do love spoons.
It is also cheap as well. And you can be spontaneous with your food in spoons, and it doesn't cost you a lot of money.
No.
What I hate about going to a restaurant, when I was younger, my auntie and uncle used to have a flat in Edinburgh. Again, another Edinburgh story. I have been to other places.
No, you haven't.
But my auntie Susan and Uncle Douglas, they would take us out to restaurants and let us experience food that wasn't around, like where we grew up in Abbeymoor area. And fucking lost my train of thought there. We're talking about. Yeah, he would quite often choose the food for us because we didn't know what was on the menu, and it was like we were quite plain eaters, like because there was a Chinese takeaway in Grandtown, which was where my school was, and Chippies. There wasn't. I'm scanning the high street in my mind. There was nothing else. I think it was just the Chinese, and so we hadn't experienced like food from afar, so we didn't know what we would like. So Uncle Douglas would choose, or Auntie Susan would choose like something from the menu that they thought that would be, it would cater for our taste and not be like blow our heads off, would be like squid or octopus or something. It was just something, that we weren't going to turn our nose up at. And it was just fun. Like, it was nice to have. But you would never go to a restaurant and spend like 15 quid on a dish if there's a chance that you might not like it.
No, and you wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, which is a shame, because like you said, there's so much nice food out there that it's probably missing a trick.
I know.
But it is money is you want to know. I want to know I'm going to like it. That it's
Would you go out to a restaurant and have just vegetarian?
No,
you wouldn't.
No.
See, we probably won't have fun eating together then.
There must be meat. I've tried. I remember actually random with work, not long after I started with Mind and Body, and we went for a lunch. I think there was only a few of us that went for lunch in town, but Georgie picked, and Georgie's a vegan, and so we went to a vegan restaurant. It was like a pub. It was really random little place actually. It was a pub, but they had a vegan menu, and it was alright. But that was it. It was like where it needed the meat. I think I probably went and got a burger afterwards, because I was like, I need meat. It doesn't fill me. I'm like, Sam occasionally will make like a veg curry, and I'm like, it's nice. Where's the meat? I am a meat eater.
You got it in your head,
yeah. But then we always have, and I think it's a very kind of Caribbean thing as well, that we eat a lot of meat. There's chicken, there's pork, there's lamb, there's goat. Like, it's just, it's meat. Like, there's a lot of meat, or fish. Like, it's all, there's veg, but it comes with meat. And even the kind of size, like macaroni cheese, is like, it's not like you get in a tin. That fucks me off.
Who buys it out of a fucking tin?
Sam will buy it out of a fucking tin.
God.
It baffles my brain. I think he's stopped now because I've moaned so much every time he does it. This is like macaroni cheese, Caribbean style. It's a pie. It's baked. It's just...
Has it got meat in it as well?
No, but, well, actually saying that, some do put bacon in it. Sometimes there is bacon in there as well, and it's a shitload of cheese. But it's just, everything's big and, like, heavy, and hence probably why I'm always overweight. So,
have you ever had food out of the Caribbean little trailer? You know, on the one-way system, as you come out of...
No, every single time I drive past, I'm like, shit, I need to stop. Every single time.
There's no space at the
No,
and
it's the most annoying place that it's in, but I really want to know, because there's not... We had a Caribbean restaurant open in Maidstone, and it was really, really good. It was down the hill... I can't remember where it was, but it was lovely, and it didn't last very long, and I used to go in there regularly because it was so nice to get it, because you go to Croydon, it's on every corner. You can pick up a bit of jerk chicken or goat, and but no, and I'm really intrigued to go.
There's something random that we're going to do within the next week, before we do our next podcast. Okay,
I'd love that. Get some curry.
Right, you can hold us accountable to that, listeners.
We'll check in.
Ask us.
Yeah. It is.
Because I recently, I think people are quite shocked when I tell them that I'm not a kind of, coming from a farm background, you expect that sort of family to be like massive meat eaters, like eat anything. If it's dead, you'll fucking eat it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We were beef, chicken, pork, and that was it. We didn't eat lamb, and we didn't eat mutton. Never ate rabbit. We didn't have a lot of fish.
Rabbit?
Yeah. Rabbit's actually quite widely eaten. Is it? Maybe I'm making that up.
I don't know anyone that eats rabbit.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's definitely something that you get in restaurants. Like a fancy restaurant would have rabbit in it.
That's just wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah, venison I only ate for the first time when I was an adult.
Venison. Oh no, I have had venison. I've got some in my freezer.
Oh, venison's yum.
Yeah, no, we had venison burgers and sausages. They were really nice, actually.
Yeah.
The rest of the kids, me and Callum ate it. No one else in the house would eat it.
Okay.
They were like, I can't eat that. Yeah. But I've still got some in there.
That's it. When you get it into your head what the animal looks like, if you haven't had it before. Me. I mean, lamb. I only ate lamb for the first time just recently, and it's not because it's a lamb. That doesn't actually cause me any issues. It's the smell of it. I don't like the smell of it.
Oh, that's the best thing about lamb.
Well, I'd eaten mutton before when I was in New Zealand. We were doing a farm stay, like right out in the sticks in central New Zealand, and the family that we were staying with, they'd cooked mutton one night. Oh my fucking god, the smell! I was like, Hur!
Oh really?
Oh god, where's the dead thing? Oh fuck, it's on my plate. Oh man, it was really. Oh, it was just hideous. It was. I think because it's such a strong flavour, and you know you hear it. Oh, mutton is like old sheep. Like it's not horrendous. It's not like a 10-year-old sheep. Yeah. It's like it's not a baby anymore.
See, I really don't think about things like I know. Like my dad's a vegan. Like now, he never used to be. He never used to eat pork because he was a rasta anyway, and then it's gone on and on and on. That and he talks to me about stuff, and I'm like that. But I think I'm like that with a lot of stuff. If I don't want to take it in, I'm not taking it in because I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless. It's very rare that you'll change my mind on something like that because I'm like, well, no, I'm just not bothered. And I do, and I feel bad for the animals and I feel bad for the environment. I genuinely do. But equally, give me a pig. Okay. I love pork.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. But I'd like to try more foods. Like from different places, even like when we go on holiday, then we probably end up, we're very British abroad. And it's down that turkey. We do have like in the pots. I can't think of what it's called now. Like like sardines and things, and that's nice. But equally, I'll eat anything generally. But I want to know I'm going to enjoy it because there's nothing worse for me than ordering food and not enjoying it.
Yeah. No, it's not a nice feeling, is it? Especially when it's cost you something as well. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah. And then I'm going to have to go and buy something else or eat a shit ton of sweets. So,
have you ever had haggis?
No, I'm not planning on that.
You're not going... So I was going to say, I'll open your eyes up to haggis. No,
because isn't that like shit?
No, it's not shit.
Not shit.
It's it's got awful. Like OFFEL.
Yeah,
awful.
But what's in haggis? No, I'm thinking of blood pudding. Oh, no.
Black pudding.
Blood pudding. That is blood, though, isn't it?
It's blood.
See, that kind of thing, when that's in my head, that's bad.
Yeah, there's no point in trying to tell you what's in it, because it will then... I don't love haggis, because it's tasty. See, with, like, buttery mashed tatties.
I don't like mashed potato.
What? Oh, for fuck's sake, how are we friends?
I don't get it. It's just like baby food. It doesn't make any sense.
You've got enough butter. It needs the butter.
No, it doesn't work.
But with peppercorn sauce as well. Oh, and neeps as well. So mashed neeps is a turnip. But you'd have haggis, neeps and tatties. So it's 3 different piles of 3 different food. You've got the mashed tatties, the mashed neeps, and then the haggis is quite like oatmeal-y. It's quite crumbly. So it's not... It makes it sound terrible. Every butcher makes it differently.
Okay.
But it is really nice if you eat all 3 together. I mean, Trevor fucking loves it.
Okay.
Oh, if I gave him haggis every night, he'd be delighted.
No, I don't think I've ever even seen it. So I would try it, but I can't guarantee what would happen once I've tried it. No, yeah, I'll add it to the list of something to try.
Okay.
I need to find more ways to randomise my life without alcohol. Is what I'm getting from this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's just doing something different. And it could be something you set up with a friend, or something you just set a reminder on your phone and go on a website. There's loads of websites you can actually go on that will give you like random ideas or random places, which can then inspire, I don't know, it could inspire a different language film that you watch or a different restaurant or...
Can't do subtitles. Or dubbed. I'm just a creature of habit, but
you really are.
Yeah, I've got issues.
Somebody needs to crack your egg, and that is it. Once you cracked a tiny little bit.
Something I do want to do, and it's something that I suppose I do, but I suppose I do less now, especially living in Kent, is more socialise with more different cultures, or do more with different cultures. I feel like I've got very white British again.
Okay.
That I'm surrounded with white British again, which is not a problem, but it's, I think, from growing up somewhere that was so diverse and always having different cultures around me, I feel like I'm missing that again recently. I don't know where they are.
Hello.
Yeah, it's something that's been on my brain for a little bit recently. Of like, but I don't want to just jump on people in the street because that's weird.
My friend.
Yeah,
can you cook dinner for me?
But I don't know how. So any suggestions or any friend requests? Be my friend. But there is, because there's so many different cultures and there's so many good things in different cultures and just learning about different cultures. I just love it, and it's even like things like Pride, which is probably why I like Pride as well, because it's so many different people, and I do love that. I do love that difference, and I feel like when I don't get that as well, I get a bit. Life's a bit bland.
I think I totally agree, and I think to have these experiences, you almost need someone who's on the same sort of level as you to be willing enough to speak to, like when you go out with your group of friends, it's very much like just you and your friends. You're not out to look for friends. So if somebody were to approach you and start having a conversation, that'd be a bit like, what the fuck are you doing here? Piss off.
I'm not ready for that. Well, something that I'm looking at actually for work, or thinking about it, I was looking at something the other day, and I've got to figure out how I can do it at work, because you need people to actually engage in the organisation. That is a human library. Was it you I was talking to about human library? And I really think, because it's Black History Month coming up, and so we're thinking of different ways to celebrate Black History Month. Right. But then I was thinking as well, ongoing, but a human library. I think, how cool would that be? Especially somewhere where it's not diverse, because you learn, and it's different cultures, different sexualities, different religions. And it is. It's on my brain, and I think we're a national organisation. We are with you. Yeah. So we've got so many people, and you think if we can access people's calendars, if we could have like half hour, tell me your life, and it's not. It's very much as well. Tell me. It's not. I don't want to have a proper conversation. I just want to listen. Yeah. And then at the end, if I've got a question, but I want to feed off of people again. So yeah. Oh,
that's just like, I talk about making my heart sing. Like that has just done that to me, because I only just seen the post that first inspired me about that this morning. It's a very Scandinavian concept.
Yeah, Denmark, I think it was. Yeah. And it's just such a nice idea.
It's a lovely thing to do.
Because it's just. And I don't think we do listen enough and learn enough. And I think the more we can listen and learn, the more we can celebrate inclusion. And
That's
I think that...
Understand the history behind things, that the reason why people do or people think the way they do about certain things. And you know what, if we don't have these conversations with the old... And it's not always the older generation, it's just people from different parts of the world. And that was one of the things that I really felt like I missed working in the nursing home, because it was predominantly dementia. Yes. And there was one or two that you could have a conversation with, but the one guy who I loved talking to, he's an American man. Yes. And he's had the most incredible life, and he's so fascinating to listen to. Yeah. He had a stroke several years ago, so his speech is slightly impaired a little bit, and he like having longer conversations with him, it does tire him out a little bit, because he does have to kind of really put a bit of effort into getting that. But you can just see like his face lights up when you sit and listen to them with their stories. And cool. Oh, it's just so lovely.
Imagine the stories that, like you said, it's not just the older generation, it can be anyone, but people have got such great stories in them. Yeah. About their lives, about where they've grown up, or just their experiences, and you just think, I really want to hear more about that. And that's a nicer way to do it. Like, I can read, I like reading, but I always say non-fiction, I struggle with non-fiction, but to have someone sit in front of me,
real life non-fiction, and that's totally different.
Yeah, that's very, like, even my dad is a talker, and he does some of his stories of growing up and stuff, and you listen and you're like, that's so cool. And you'd never... It's not things that always... My dad he just talks, but it wouldn't always come up in conversation, that you wouldn't know that by looking at someone, that's what they've been through as a person. And you just think,
it's not just a general topic of conversation, is it? No. Well, did I tell you I started doing that with my dad? No. I started emailing him questions, random questions.
Oh, really?
Because I know my dad is my dad, and I used to spend a majority of my childhood with my dad sitting in the tractor. Yeah. And I remember Dad trying to impart his wisdom on me and like teach me about the world, but I was a child. Yeah. Like I was thinking about what I was going to do with the horses when I went home. Like once I got out of the tractor and finished closing the 20th gate of the day, where was I going to go riding in the afternoon? Like what's Bonnie doing? Is she coming over? Like that was what my brain was thinking. So I've missed a huge part of actually getting to know my dad and asking him questions. Yeah. So I decided when it came to Father's Day this year, there was this thing came up on social media, and it was it was a computer generated thing that you gave your dads. You basically paid like 300 quid, and they sent these generic emails out to your dad and generated the stories and put them into a book. And I was like,
oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't want that from it. I just want to ask my dad questions. But this is the prompt that I need to. Yes,
that's a lovely idea.
I spoke to him on the phone and I said, would you be up for me like just spamming you with questions from time to time and finding out stuff about you? And so since June, we've only had one successful correspondence because my dad is really busy. He's running a really big farm, and in the summer he does nothing but say nothing but work. My mum might argue otherwise.
Oh God,
he's probably he'll have had his lunch. He'll be having a wee snooze at the moment.
Right, okay.
So I asked him what was his first car, and what was his fondest memory in it. And I got the loveliest email back. It was so cool.
So that is cool.
I didn't know my dad had gone to college. I didn't know my dad drove a Morris Minor pickup truck. Wow. So that then transpired that I then got in touch with the local newspaper, and I got in touch with this woman who's so flipping helpful. And she sent me pictures of my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. I says, look, do you have any pictures? Because my dad had won an award from the college for being the most attentive student or something. I was like, this is so cool.
See, and that's come off the back of one question.
Yeah. It's lovely. So she sent me, I asked how I could get the fucking pictures. I thought they'd just send them to me. £17 each they want for them.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, I was a bit pissed off by that.
Wow.
But and the pictures are totally watermarked. But you can still see faces.
Right.
Well, my dad looks so young in it.
Oh, he's only that's really cute.
It's just lovely.
That is really cute.
So yeah, just take a moment and stop in your day and think. And if you can't think for yourself, what can I do? Ask somebody. Yeah. What can I do today? Just off the top of your head. What did you do yesterday that surprised you? And just doing something a little bit different.
No, I like that. I'm going to add that in somehow more. Come out of my comfort zone. And it's
fun. I mean, my face is actually aching because I've smiled all the way through this. It's such a fun subject to talk about.
No, it is.
It's just a different way of injecting a little bit of change into your life.
Yeah, adding some joy. We all need joy.
We all do.
Yeah, and and it's not something, like you said, it doesn't have to be anything difficult, which is really cool, that it can just be anything.
Yeah.
I like that.
There you go.
I'm going to add some stuff there.
Don't open those gates or I'll send you loads of messages.
No, I'm not opening it to you. I'm opening it to people that eat meat.
Do you know where's a great place to be random with food? Buffets.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to don't take this out of how to say buffet.
Buffet. Buffet.
Buffet.
It's a buffet.
Buffet.
But it's all right. I'm just going to go and get my computer. I still can't quite cope.
Oh dear. Yeah. Right, so we'd love to hear from you guys. Like, how do you plan on randomising your life?
Yeah,
what
have
you done? Know. Yeah, what have you done recently that's put a big smile on your face and it was least expected?
Yeah.
And next week we have Hayley McBain talking to us about raising children who have got autism, not who are autistic, who.
See, well, this I've had conflicting as well, and I think it is. So I think it's whatever
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have Hayley. And I hope you all enjoyed Laura's, because that would have been last week.
Yes.
My brain can't
Yeah, it
go.
would have been last week.
But, yeah. So hope you enjoy a bit of a change up.
Yeah, it's good to
So
be
that's
back.
a bit random, isn't it?
Oh.
We've randomised the podcast.
Without even knowing it.
Exactly. We're very good at this. Very good at this. Always bring it full circle. But get to it in the end. But, no.
Oh dear. Right, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. All right?
Yes. Take care, everyone.
Bye.